Few shows can say they have done what Doctor Who has done throughout its nearly 52-year history. From its humble beginnings as a small British science fiction show, it has subsequently become a worldwide multimedia franchise. The show is said to have started in the mind of Sidney Newman, the head of drama at the BBC at the time, who was tasked to create a programme to fill the gap between Sports Showcase Grandstand and pop music programme Jukebox Jury. Verity Lambert, the first ever lead female producer at the BBC, was tasked with producing the series, and William Hartnell was cast as the now iconic Time Lord. Carol Ann Ford was cast alongside him as the Doctor's granddaughter Susan Foreman, and Jacqueline Hill and William Russell were cast as Barbara Wright and Ian Chesterton, Susan's two teachers.
One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine.
About 2005 with Christopher Eccleston.
Run!
Oh, I must have been about 7 or 8, I think. I liked Tom Baker a lot. I think he had a lovely long scarf, he had nice curly hair, and he had a cheerful disposition, I thought.
Oh, just punch up 7438000WHI121272727911 E81113091115 and then see what happens.
I started watching Doctor Who in 2005.
I think when I started watching Doctor Who, I was a child, I must have been about 7, maybe 8, and I remember the Doctor being David Tennant.
When I was in year 6.
Whenabouts was that?
Specifics. I was 10 at the time, so that was 7 years ago. Wow.
As Hartnell's health slowly deteriorated during his tenure as the Doctor, and it became increasingly difficult to work with, the BBC decided that they needed to replace him if they ever wanted the show to go on. So reluctantly they let him go from the role. With Hartnell set to leave at the climax of Season 4's second story, Patrick Troughton was cast to replace him. This process of changing actors has allowed the show to continue onwards and has come to be known as regeneration, the Time Lord ability of changing one's cells to heal from damage.
That's hard. I'll probably gonna go with Christopher Eccleston, because he had a darker side to him.
The Daleks must survive! The Daleks have failed! Why don't you finish the job and make the Daleks extinct? Rid the universe of your filth! Why don't you just die?
You would make a good Dalek.
David Tennant.
I think I like Matt Smith. I think he had a good personality, really. I liked kind of the way he dressed, and I liked his bouncing around nature.
I'm going to need a SWAT team ready to mobilise, street level maps covering all of Florida, a pot of coffee, 12 jammy Dodgers and a fez.
Get him his maps.
Got to be David Tennant, because he is a good actor in general, of his how he acts, his body language, his facial expressions. He's just such a good actor to play that part. How tall he is, well, of how tall he looks in the suit and stuff. I just think he's brilliant.
So those rhinos, they're looking for you.
Yes, but I'm hidden.
Right. Maybe that's why they're increasing their scans.
They're doing what?
Big Chief Rhino Boy said, no sign of a non-human, we must increase our scans up to setting 2.
Then I must assimilate again.
What does that mean?
I must appear to be human.
Well, you're welcome to come home and meet the wife. She'd be honoured. We can have cake.
My favourite Doctor, I would say that my favourite Doctor is David Tennant, because I've seen the most of Doctor Who when David Tennant was in it, and he's a good actor, he plays really well. I like David Tennant. The Master.
And why?
He has the witty side, but also the cunning, smart, intelligent side, and he doesn't stop coming back. Or she doesn't stop coming back.
Well, that's the end of him.
Mine has got to be probably the Daleks, because they're just so strange. You've never seen anything like it before.
I kind of figured that.
Probably the Reapers, because they're like the timekeepers of the world, and they're vicious, and they do whatever they want. Really, they can kill what they want as long as it doesn't destroy time.
Get in the church!
I think when I was a child in particular, I was really, really, really petrified of Davros. He scared me. He still scares me. I remember hiding behind the sofa when Davros came on. I was petrified.
Yes. Yes. To hold in my hand a capsule that contained such power. To know that life and death on such a scale was my choice. To know that the tiny pressure on my thumb, enough to break the glass, would end everything. Yes. I would do it. That power would set me up above the gods. And through the Daleks, I shall have that power.
But more recently, I think, did you see, I bet you did see the scene where there were kind of children with gas masks on, and they were walking around saying, are you my mummy? Are you my mummy? That was scary. And my younger son was scared about that. I thought that was a scary one.
Doctor?
I'm here. Can't you see me?
What's that noise?
End of the tape. It ran out about 30 seconds ago.
I'm here now. Can't you see me?
I sent it to its room. This is its room.
Are you my mummy?
I'd probably say my favourite villains are the Daleks because they look really cool. I know it's a bit judgmental, but I like Daleks because just of the way they are, because they're all robotic and stuff, but I like the Daleks.
In its almost 52-year history, Doctor Who has spent many of those years off the air, but that didn't mean the story was over. Doctor Who magazine, The Virgin New Adventures, now part of BBC Books, and Big Finish Productions kept the show alive in those bleak years through comic books, novels and audio adventures. These forms of media continue to expand today and add a whole new layer of depth to the Doctor Who universe.
I think Peter Dinklage would be a good Doctor, because he's a very good actor, he's got a great voice, and he's already, as I've said earlier, proved himself to be a good actor, so.
It's a hard one, that. I'd probably, I'll go with some random person. I'm going to say maybe Jeremy Clarkson. He'd be pretty cool.
I'd think possibly Benedict Cumberbatch, because he is brilliant. He's the way he acts, the way he can just attach himself to a character, and I think because he is quite tall from what I've seen, I think he'd play a good part, especially with the other films he's just brought out that either won or got nominated for an Oscar, and I think he'd be brilliant as a Doctor.
Probably Richard Armitage, because if it ever got, it's getting more serious, so, and he fits serious roles quite well. Like, he played a bad guy in Robin Hood and the main good guy in The Hobbit, kind of. And like, he fits the role of bad things have happened and he needs to be, like, he has to become what he is to help himself. Otherwise he'll go insane or sad.
Helen Mirren. You could have a female Doctor for a change. She would be pretty good, I think. But I kind of like them when they're younger, really, you know. So I don't really know. Maybe maybe even somebody like Daniel Craig might be quite good, really, if he'd want to do that role. I don't know. Or maybe he's a bit too muscular. Maybe he's a bit too beefy for it. But I think I prefer them younger. But I don't know which actor in particular.
So what's next for the show? Will it stand the test of time? Well, for a show about time travel that has lasted this long in so many forms of different media, I think Doctor Who will always hold some relevance somewhere.